In May of 2018, a taxi driver named Prabhu Batra was driving two people home from a wedding in eastern India when he felt nature's call and pulled over at a rest stop. This rest stop was kind of just like a nature area, but as soon as he parked, he noticed something that really interested him. And that was, not too far away, there was a small pond, and at the edge of the water was a 200 to 300 pound male sloth bear trying to get a drink. Now, it's unclear if Prabhu knew anything about sloth bears at all, but they're one of the most dangerous creatures on the continent of Asia. They routinely fight and win fights against tigers. But regardless of whether Prabhu knew this or not, he was so intrigued by this bear he decided he needed to get a selfie with it. But the passengers in his car begged him not to do this. But he was determined, so he got out of the vehicle and he began walking towards this bear in the pond, and as he did so, there's other people that he was passing by, and they too are telling him to please not approach this bear. Several of them actually told him that the bear appeared to be injured, and you never want to approach any bear in the wild, but especially not an injured bear. But either way, he was going to get this selfie, so he walked basically right up to the bear within 8 to 10 feet of it, and he's standing just a little bit above it, about maybe 8 to 10 feet away, and the bear's just slightly down below him. And he turns around to get this selfie, and when he does, one of his feet slip on kind of the embankment to that pond. And it seems like it was that noise that set the bear off. So the bear whirls around, and it was on him in under a second. And it pins him to the ground, and it begins biting his face and his shoulder, and it's thrashing him around on the ground. And now at this point, several people who were watching take out their cell phones, and they begin to record. And as you watch this video, you see pretty quickly one guy come up with a very skinny branch, and he's trying to hit the bear on the back. He hits it just a few times, it does nothing to the bear, and then that guy gives up, and then a woman comes running up with what looks like might be a rock, a big rock, and she throws it, and it hits the bear in the back. This also does absolutely nothing, and then this big group of people who are standing very nearby, they just kind of back off, and they continue filming as this bear mauls Prabhu. Now, Prabhu, at some point, he's able to kind of break free away from the bear, but it still has him by the arm, so he's kind of up on his knees, and he's trying to fight the bear away, but the bear is just gnawing on his arm and won't let him go. And then Prabhu eventually is able to stand up on his feet to try and get some leverage, but when he does that, the bear swipes at him, hitting him in the face, in the neck, and then Prabhu goes down again, and the bear gets on top of him and is just thrashing him around. Then a little stray dog, maybe 30, 40 pound dog, comes running in, and it tries to save Prabhu. It's running around the bear, it's barking at the bear. I think it might even take a couple little nips at the bear, but again, the bear is undeterred, and at some point the bear kind of turns towards the dog, and I don't know if it lashed out at the dog, but it looks like the dog got scared away. So the dog goes running away, and then again, it's just Prabhu on his own, but by this point, Prabhu doesn't really appear to be fighting back anymore. Authorities were called, and by the time they showed up, Prabhu was already gone. It was far too late. They tranquilized the bear, and they took it back, and they said they treated it, although information later would come out saying that they euthanized the bear. Prabhu, the post-mortem pictures of him are pretty awful to look at. His face is basically torn away, his throat is torn out, his chest is torn open, his legs and his arms are torn up. It looks like the bear tore off one of his hands. It basically looks like you took a hatchet and a knife to this guy and attacked him like 1,000 times. It tore him completely apart.